Parsons has stripped all of the Cowboys stuff off his social media. Micah Parsons is letting off signs. I'm out of here. I'm done. He's under contract. Jerry can franchise tag him, I think, for the next 2 or 3 years. But Micah Parsons and his agent, David Mulugeta, are so frustrated and fed up with Jerry Jones that they're like, deuces, we're out of here. And Micah Parsons is letting off every indication, I'm not playing with the Cowboys ever again. Micah Parsons needs to watch this Netflix documentary on the Cowboys. It is perfectly timed because there's something that applies here clearly to Micah Parsons, something that applies here to the Dallas Cowboys and what has gone on the last 30 years, what has gone on since Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson split after winning that second Super Bowl, 92, 93, back-to-back Super Bowls. They split. They had this feud over credit and over being disrespected or respected or whatever it is. Jerry Jones, here's the issue with the Cowboys. Jerry Jones values relationships more than championships. Relationships versus championships is what this entire documentary is about. And so when he looks at Micah Parsons and he looks at this contract dispute and he wants to cut out the agent, David Mulugeta, Jerry Jones wants a relationship with Micah Parsons that will last a lifetime. He wants to remove the agent from the equation. He's trying, and if you watch this documentary, what he's trying to subtly say to Micah Parsons is like, look at the way I love Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin went to hell, and he had on gasoline underwear when he went there. And Michael Irvin asked me, Jerry, I'm in hell. They got me busted on these drug charges. They got this woman that I was banging, squealing on me, telling everything about I threatened to kill her, the drugs we use. Jerry, I need you to put on these gasoline underwear and go to hell with me and resurrect me and bring me back from hell. And Jerry Jones did that. And then Michael Irvin turned back around and said, Jerry, I'm going to hell again. And I got a gasoline wife beater and underwear on. And I need you to put on this wife beater and gasoline underwear and come to hell with me again and save me, because I have stabbed and nearly killed a teammate of mine on the Cowboys facility over a haircut. I had forgotten or was oblivious. I'm watching the documentary and I was like, I don't remember this, but this is a true story, and Mike is copping to it. And they got the prosecutor and they're going into detail like, holy cow, Michael Irvin took some scissors and stabbed a teammate, and the guy had to be rushed to the hospital. And then clearly it's inferred, it's not spelled out, but it's inferred that like Jerry Jones and the Cowboys worked with the guy that got stabbed so that he would not snitch on Michael Irvin. And they handled it mafioso style. We're not telling the police, we'll reach a settlement with this guy, and Mike, you get to stay on the team. Jerry Jones is trying to tell Micah Parsons, bro, ask Michael Irvin, ask any of these players of mine. I will go to hell and back with you. I'm that type of relationship guy. And you can watch this, and many people will watch it, and your respect for Jerry Jones and his loyalty will go up. It did for me. It's not that I agree with what they did. It's just like, holy cow, Jerry Jones is a loyal guy. When he loves his players, he loves his players. But the other part of me was like, and Jerry, this is why you can't win. Because you shouldn't have gone to hell with Michael Irvin with gasoline underwear on. You can't recover from that. You've cut a deal with the devil. And I want to be crystal clear. I love Michael Irvin. I really do. I used to really dislike Michael Irvin. And then I met him, sat down with him, got to know him. This man has an enormous heart, major intellect. But he is a flawed human being that makes some really bad mistakes and decisions and will set a culture up in your work environment, in your locker room, that will undermine winning. And you will convince yourself, hey, we won these first 2 Super Bowls, and everybody on this deal. Well, Michael was our energy. Michael was our leader. Michael was the guy that gave us that oomph. Michael's also the guy that took the organization straight to hell, and it has never recovered from that. They needed a bad guy. And so I'm watching this documentary, and I'm saying to myself that if Jimmy Johnson was still there and allowed to be the bad guy, they would have cut bait with Michael Irvin around 1994 and 95. They certainly would have cut bait with Michael Irvin by 1996, by the time he's involved in this drug case at a hotel with hookers and drugs. They needed a bag. They needed their version of Bill Belichick to say, hey, man, you've been a great player for us, but you become more of a headache than we can tolerate, and we have to move on. A championship coach would have figured out, like, we've milked this cow. The rest of the milk in the Michael Irvin cow is spoiled and is going to destroy this franchise and team. And it happened, and it did that. And they held on to Michael Irvin. In my view, after the first 2 Super Bowls, and again, it's not because he had already gotten into criminal trouble, because he didn't get into criminal trouble, I don't believe, until 1996. But you should have been able to sniff out, like, oh boy, we've gone as far as we're going to go with Michael Irvin as our leader. Someone has to be the bad guy. And Bill Belichick used to do that with the Patriots over and over. Oh, you've been a valuable player for us, but we're going to move on and do better. You're near your expiration date. He eventually even did it to Tom Brady. There's no bad guy in Dallas. Now, Jerry Jones' bad guy as it relates to the NFL and what he'll do to Roger Goodell and his ownership friends. But with his Cowboys, he's ride or die. He's going to love them. He's going to go to hell and back with them. I left this documentary liking and respecting Jerry Jones. I left it liking and respecting Jimmy Johnson. But I like and respect Jerry Jones a little bit more. I think Micah Parsons needs to watch this documentary and find out who he's really saying no to. And maybe Micah Parsons is like, hey, man, Jerry's only got 2-3 years left. It's Stephen Jones and Charlotte and blah, blah, blah. But these kids are going to be influenced by their dad and their dad's philosophy. David Mulugeta sounds great. He's an agent. When you go bad, when you reach your expiration point, Micah Parsons, he's going to cut bait with you and move on to the next player who can make him more money. Jerry Jones has proven he will not turn his back. And we're leaving it at Michael Irvin. But there's a bunch of other Cowboys because they hired a bunch of idiots and bent over backwards for Charles Haley, bent over backwards for Nate Newton. Oh, man, I want Jerry Jones in my foxhole. I want Jerry Jones to be my team owner. David Mulugeta, an agent, great. He ain't Jerry Jones. He ain't ride or die like that. Whoo, boy. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.